Everyone, my name is Sola Abulu. I'm the principal consultant of Sola Abulu and Associates. I decided to do a short video just introducing you to our e-learning platform. Just in case you want to go for one of our courses, this is what it looks like. We have about 4 courses uploaded on different aspects of communications. So if you come into the website, like you type this into your Google search engine, whatever, this is what you're gonna get to this page, and you'd see something telling you, well, I'm logged in. So you probably see something here saying register and log in. So you probably have to register in your details in there. And then, okay, so let me see if I can show you what that looks like and then come back here. Just give me a second to do that. So like I was saying, you would see login, something here, login or register. So if you're not registered, you just click on this and then you sort of put in your name, email, put in a password, you confirm the password, that sort of thing. You can sort of get in there. But let me just show you this is the landing page, says register here. So you have the register here. You could also have it here. But you could also start off by, which I also recommend, to scroll down the courses and see which one you want to take, whether it's the issues management course, which is generally about crisis management and that sort of thing, how to respond in a crisis, which is really a key area for us in our profession. And then, of course, this then takes you to buy the course now. So if you've registered before, you know your password and all that will come in, and then you go in, and then you have to pay or whatever the case may be. But if you haven't okay, yeah. So in my case, yeah. So if you haven't, it also gives you an option of adding to cart in here. If you've registered and you're able to do that, and then decide you add your cart and then you pay. You can actually pay in naira or in dollars, depending on what currency makes sense for you. You can see. Let me see. I can show you the dollar rate here. Yeah, so this is what the dollar rate for the course is. And if it's Naira, it comes to that. So, and our payment systems, accessible anywhere in the world. So wherever it is you're in the world, there's no problem. And you'd also see a preview of the course. Each course has a preview, as you can see for this course here. This preview is actually an excerpt from the course itself, where I just show you what it looks like, what's the environment. I took out a snippet, I think the first 4 minutes of the course, and you just see how it works. Now, you can see that we've had, some people enroll for some of these courses. I think what has been fascinating for me since we launched this, like, I think it was 2024, 25, we launched, I can't remember now. But it's been fascinating for me to see that people have engaged with the content in this course. And I've literally had some people go through the courses and I'm like waiting for them, like, okay, do you have any questions? They're like, no, it's very self-explanatory. Some people ask more questions than others, but the feedback we get generally from people is that it's engaging, it answers questions. People always say, oh, I want to go back to this module, I want to go back to that module. And that's the advantage of this, of this, because you can actually go back to the content as often as you would like to. Let me just say, at least within the 6 weeks that you have access to this course. As I was saying, so I looked at the first course, the issues course. Then there's the strategic communications course, which is the one that a lot of people really enroll for in all, both live online Zoom and this one. And again, you see the same option where you can actually buy the course now. If you try this navigation link, it will take you to, the same sort of place where you have the option to register, to add it to carts, and then pay, and then you get the content immediately. Access is limited to 6 weeks. Try to complete all the modules before then contact us if there are any issues. Sometimes if people, they're not able to finish on time and we see that there's effort you've done some part, we can have a conversation and maybe extend for a couple of days or so. But most times we really like people to take use of that 6 weeks, and we issue reminders just to make sure that you're really going through. And just to show you what the modules are like, these are all recorded in the session. You can see the first module here is 47 minutes. Module 1 has 2 parts, 22 minutes. And all of this you can see really even before, you can check this out even if before paying, because I can see here I'm not logged in, but I can see this. So you get a sense of, what you're going to be paying for, if you know what I mean. And the videos are already there. So module 2, module 3. So I would recommend please just go to learn.sholabulassociates.com and just check out these things for yourself, and just the enabling leadership communications. We had a session recently, the live online session. And by the way, I think I need to make this clear that make it clear here that the same things you get in the live online Zoom courses is exactly what you get for these courses as well. There's no difference, and I'm sure not everybody, people may find that difficult to believe, but it's true. It's the same thing. It's this literally the same set of slides because we took it through an accreditation process. It's the same set of slides. The only difference is that, of course, on these courses, you get what I recorded at the time I recorded, but it's the same slides. In fact, the only thing that changes most of the time is maybe I add for the live courses, I add one or two things. Sometimes I even remove, in fact, a lot of times I remove. So, but what you get in, the display on demand courses is the full suite of things. And sometimes in the live programs, depending on where the audience is going and all of that, we may shorten or elongate certain portions. The one thing that is probably different, I would say, in the live courses is that you get the opportunity to do live case studies and the case studies change and all that. But I've seen people go through the courses and they continue to comment on the case studies like it's still relevant because we choose case studies that are not, it's not something that it's not a trendy sort of thing. It's based on the principle, so it doesn't really change. And I find that really fascinating that many of those principles are still relevant to today. In fact, sometimes when I get questions from people on the course, participants who say, "Oh, that case study about that Tesla," and I'll be thinking because I've written a number of case studies on Tesla. I'll be like, "Okay, which of the case studies are they referring to?" If I remember that, okay, the one I recorded at that time, but it's still relevant because at the end of the day, we're discussing concepts, we're discussing principles. It doesn't change, I mean, and that's really, really awesome if you know what I mean. So this is that. I mean, you can, like I said, this is exactly, if you look at it, the life of this is exactly the topics are the same, and that's where we've modeled it. So the whole idea is that the people who come for the play on demand courses are two categories of people. People who are time poor. In other words, they are not able to spare that working hours times 9 to 4. The schedule is just not gelling. Also people who don't have control of their schedule to a certain level. Because if you're working in an organization where you have to attend meetings because business leaders will be there, it may not be easy for you to take out a whole day. And we insist on 9 to 4 p.m. You must be there present for the entire day. So if you can't take a day off, you really can't take the live on Zoom class. So this is the better class for you. If you're also somebody who is new to communications and you really need some hand holding, because one other thing that this does, the play on demand courses do, which it's not possible for me to deliver in the live online classes, is that one-to-one attention where we can go back and forth on the WhatsApp channel. We have a WhatsApp channel where I normally like take participants through, and you can just be sending me questions back and forth, and you have that attention. How would I say, you have that right to you have that access to me for that 6 week period, so long as we're discussing things around the course and around how you're applying it in your work. And I tell you, some people have used that really seriously. In fact, some people, even after they've ended the courses, they're still on that WhatsApp chat, because I mean, if I see, because at the end of the day, what we want are engaged students. So this one I recommend for people who need that hand holding, who, particularly you are starting a new job and you want somebody to be like a sounding board for you in your first 6 weeks, your first 30 days. You can also enroll for this course. But again, you must finish the modules, and we're very particular on that because what I found, and I've had people come to me and say, oh, they want me to coach them and everything. Can you be my mentor? In my mind, I'm like, I have to first make sure we're speaking the same language. And the easiest way is either you've watched a lot of the YouTube content or you've taken one of the courses. But I don't like to put say that up front because it looks like, oh, I'm using that as an entry speed, because that's not really the thing. But the thing is that I have 6 hours of content explaining to you the very things that you want me to coach you about. So let's first start with that one. And this content, like, it took us a lot of time to upload it. Even if you won't go through the content on the courses, I think the training courses actually provide much more immersion than the YouTube courses. They serve different purposes. I would say YouTube is for somebody who is, you are still early, you're coming in, you just want to test yourself a bit before you come into the training, or you're somebody who already knows your onions, you just want a different perspective and all of that. But if you're somebody who, either you're gunning for a very highly professional job, or you really need strengthening and hand holding, then this one is for you. This course, Play on Demand, is people like you we made it for. So leaders who are transitioning, people who don't have time to attend courses, people also from different time zones, because again, our live courses are Nigeria time zone. So if you're in a different time zone, 6 hours different, GMT, whatever it is, EST, all those standard times that are not West African time, then this is also for you. So this is also an opportunity for you to, go through the course, but you will still have the one-on-one with me. Also in the play on demand, I also give that option that if afterwards you want to have a 1 hour session where we're discussing the content or just want to talk about, what's going on in your career and advice, you also have that opportunity. So the courses are an entry point. For me, I use it as a way to gauge interest in our profession because that's what I found. I mean, I know people who've gone through these courses 24 hours. I know somebody who went through it in a weekend, an entire weekend. She went through all the courses. So that kind of person, if the person reaches out for me for anything, any question, I'll always respond because I can tell that you were engaged. And I've seen people also go through the courses, the quizzes, because there are quizzes for some of them. For the first few modules, I put quizzes, but towards the end, I didn't put quizzes because I didn't want it to be too because I some people struggle with quizzes, So I just wanted I didn't want the quiz to be like a barrier to learning. But for some people really like really like the quiz and they're like, well, I was looking for a quiz in the module two. I didn't find out. I'm like, sorry, I didn't put a quiz. And I still think I will leave it this way. I don't want to, put quizzes everywhere because some people really struggle with, depending on where they are. Some people like can't really finish the courses as in they struggle, but some people maybe like with getting the time, but some people really breeze through. Those people that breeze through tend to be really like, oh, I want more quizzes. So I just sort of like balance it. So we have half quizzes and then some that don't have quizzes. So that's the way we've done that. And so I really encourage you, the feedback from people who have attended the courses are really positive. I'm not just saying this, read the reviews that you see on the website. They are not the people that are there. You can also look for them on LinkedIn. Their names are there. You can look for them on LinkedIn and have a conversation with them if what's it like. Should I go for the live? Should I go for, and there are quite a number of people. I think over the next few days, I'm going to be probably, I'll try to, locate some of the posts that people have made about some of our courses and just repost them again so that people can just see these things and know. So yeah, this is a resource that's created for communications professionals. As a consultant, many times when I go out there, I see that a lot of people come to me, a lot of professionals. The one feedback I hear most about our courses is that it's relevant to the African context, and that most people say that when they go for the international trainings, they're not really relevant to our context. And to be honest, that was when I hear that I'm gladdened because that was why we started this. That was exactly why we started because it was so that there was a gap. So if this resource is here and it's here 24/7, whether people are on the platform or not, it is here, it is available. Please make use of it. That's what I say. Eventually, at some point in time, I think we're going to be offering it to institutions and asking them, whether they would, to enroll their students and that kind of thing. Because to be honest, the number of students that even contact me and say, oh, I'm going for exams, can you help me? And I'm like, sorry, we don't have material for students, we're just for working professionals. So working professionals, this is your platform. If we had created it for students, I kid you not, I'm sure it would be having, massive traffic because we do get a lot of pull. I honestly don't know why, I'm not sure what is going on in universities these days, but anyway, that's not where we're focused on working professionals for now. So that's it from me. Hope this is not too long of a video. If you have any questions, comments, please get back to me. There are four courses right now uploaded: strategic communications course, the issues, crisis, and reputation management course, the brand strategy and marketing course, as well as the public sector policy and political communications course. All here for you. 6 hours of video content, 6 weeks of access to me for each course. Thank you very much, and I look forward to having you sign up. So, thank you.